Alright, the next story quest is given to us by Koana. Level 92, the Feat of Pots. We are in the work pot, Kozamuga. Let's go. The Elector bids the claimants assemble in a large building on the west side of the village. I will head over after finding Thancred and Ulianje. I also ran into the Labelia twins on the way here. I took the liberty of directing them to the venue. Yes, I know my accent for Koana changes all the time. I don't know what to do with him. Because I'm pretty sure when I heard him voice acted, and he did kind of sound more like Wuklamat. But I suck at that accent, so yeah. We're rivals. It's not his job to make sure I know the feat is starting. But even now, he's conscientious to a fault. Anyway, let's not keep Ready Rock waiting. A little bit to the west, we find Ready Rock in a big pot building. Not marijuana pot, but anyway. Ready Rock thanks you for assisting Helphand Rakarok. She will announce the feat once the other claimants arrive, so please be patient a little while longer. We have to wait for the other people to show up? But they didn't help. Unless she's only talking about Koana. Yeah, only Koana, okay. Please be voice acted, please, 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 please. It's a beautiful one to be dang it! I'm happy to report that we were able to convince one of the Potsworn to stay. How did you fare? Says Elfino. I explained to him what we did. So you managed to do the same. Splendid. The one-headed Mamulja and his mage cohort join as well. Welcome to Earthenshire, First Promise. We support your plans for salt crossings and the new Potsworn they will bring, says a moblin as they enter. Hail the mighty Zeralja! He cleared many piles of rockfall as if they were pebblestones. The resilient son for Dawn Servant, says another moblin. Zeralja was clearing fallen rocks. I'm surprised he would volunteer his time for anything unrelated to the contest, says Thancred. Well, well, we meet again, says Bukul Jaja the Mighty. Off screen, so I didn't know it was him. Although I did, because it was in the freaking name of the voice. Whatever. Just in time for the feat to begin. I'll bet he was already here, laying low while the rest of us did all the work, says Alice. The moblins look around at everybody, nod. Claimants, your attention, please, says Ready Rock. As Ready Rock has explained, many of our Potsworn left us following the storm. The precious metalwork crafted by those artisans bring in much jingly shine from across the salt. Should our stream of trade goods dry up, Earthenshire will suffer. Tuliolal merchants will suffer. Sir Ready Rock sets you this feat. Each of you are to find one clever hand goldsmith to bring back here to us. So we're Wuklamat. So we're to recruit new Potsworn. Makes sense for the feat of pots. Yeah, horrible, I'm sorry. Makes sense for the feat of pots? It's better. Not great, but... Cerealja, the mage of the one-headed Mamulja contestant. Calling this a feat does not justify taking advantage of the claimants and their influence. How does finding workers for you demonstrate their worthiness for the throne? You are free to refuse Ready Rock's request. She'll be happy to inform the Dawn Servant of Zeralja's disqualification. The right is a means to an end. The steps we take to get there are not important, says Zeralja. Then Ready Rock declares the feat of pots begun. But remember, a pot pact must be agreed to willingly. No grab snatching or deceitful tongue flaps. I'm hoping that wasn't voice acted, because Alpha, yeah. Bakul Jaja the Mystic, the mage head of Earthenshire. The elector said nothing of taking a willing artisan from a rival. Which is exactly what we should do. The warrior head smiles at that. A fine suggestion, brother. I'm glad you think so, brother. Come, let us lay our plans. That leaves us. That nasty brute is up to something, says Alice. Aye, he may seek to delay us again as he did on the river. We can but remain vigilant while we plot our course, says Alphino. What do you think, Rook Lamont? Have you any candidates in mind to satisfy this feat? Says Cryle. I know some artisans amongst my supporters, but they're all in their twilight years. I wouldn't ask them to give up the comforts of Tulialal to live in this remote village, no matter how beautiful the scenery. Meanwhile, Koana probably has 100 young craftspeople to choose from. Not that I'm comparing us, you understand. That's just a statement of fact. I suppose we could try asking around Awaku Meki Meki. That seems a logical place to start. Back to Tulialal it is, says Alphino. Wait, does that mean we have to take the boat again? Says Wook, in my bad accent. She falls to her knees and hands. No, 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 I can't do it. I can't stomach another boat ride. You said I should share my burdens, so I will speak plainly. The truth is, she's still on hands and knees. I get really, really sick on boats. Yeah, we noticed, but... Uklamat, that is hardly news, says Erinville. Cryle shrugs and smiles. But it was very brave of you to admit. In any case, we won't be fighting the current this time. Heading downriver will be much smoother, says Cryle. It will? Are you sure? She's got like tears in her eyes. Cryle's like taken aback. I'm positive. Mostly. Wook gives a weird, like, pained smile. Pounds the ground a couple more times. Cutscene fades to black. And we are magically on the dock. Thank you for saving us the travel. Ugh, I need a moment. Upriver or downriver? Ihui Katumu was too rough for me. The nausea is a bit more bearable now that I've stopped trying to hide it, but I'd still rather not set foot on a boat if I can help it. Alright, I think I'm ready. Let's see if Master Rokley can help us recruit a potswoman. Wait. Oh, so we've already done the boat travel? I don't know the fastest way to get from the docks to Wakumeki. But we're gonna try running. There is, I mean, I could have run over there to, no, that would be stupid. I think I've chosen correctly. And we get our jog on afterwards, so. Hey Ropley, good to see you again. Cutscene. Please be voice acted. Come on, it's been a while. Dang it. Greetings, Third Promise. What brings you back to Wakumeki Meki? You've not chipped your axe again, have you? No, Master Ropley. Actually, I have a favor to ask. And she explains. Ropley nods. Thinks. Thinks long. So what do you think? Do you know of any craftsmen who might be interested? Filching my artisans for the moblins, eh? Well, seeing as it's the Third Promise making the request, I'm willing to look the other way if one of them decides to take you up on the offer. Only, I can't think of a suitable candidate off the top of my head. Who do I know with a mastery of goldsmithing that would also have no qualms about relocating to Earthenshire? Could be the Eorzean goldsmith, maybe, but my options are that Eorzean goldsmith, what about him? Or, what if the Elzen man who just started working here? They're both basically saying the same thing. That Eorzean goldsmith? What about him? You mean Fonjintain? He did say he was employed at some fancy jewelry store across the salt. And considering the distance he's already come, I like to think he wouldn't mind moving a little up the river. That said, he's only just got himself a new job. Is it too soon to ask him to sign a pot pact? There's no harm in making the offer. Once he hears how well the Potsworn are treated, he may even jump at the chance, says Erenville. Either way, you won't find Fonjintain at his workbench at this hour. He's finished for the day, probably enjoying a meal over at Ixbalyav Tie, says Robley. Then maybe we should go and talk to him. Just you and me, since he knows us. Wouldn't want him to feel intimidated by having to deal with a crowd of new faces. The two of us can handle this. Take a rest at the cabins if you like, says Wook to the other scions in Erenville, who all nod and go off. Go off, son. Right, let's go and see a man about a pot. Alright. Pot pack, but with no actual pots in this. My jog is still up. Ooh, wait. Okay, this is actually a good chance to take the Ethernet. Should go to the Waku Meki shard. And then over to the Bayside Bevy. Is that what it was? Bayside Bevy? Whatever. And then let's jump this if we can. Boom. Boom, shacky lacky. Down on the beach. Doo 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 doo. 2, 1 and 2 each. We found Fonjintain. Oh mercy, you're here too. Third Promise said she wanted to chat. I've just finished eating, so shall we find a quiet spot outside? Sure. Cutscene. Voice acted? We walk to the beach. Beautiful, clear blue ocean. He stretches after his meal. The last time we talked on this beach, you were in a miserable state. Yes, I was, wasn't I? A lost soul. Until the two of you came along and helped me rediscover my purpose. My new place of employment has been most welcoming, and for the first time in a long time, I feel content with my lot in life. That's wonderful. So, what is it you wish to discuss? Well, it's hard to ask this right after you've settled in, but I'm looking for someone to become a Potsworn. Ah, I've heard my new colleagues mention the term. That's when an artisan signs a contract to work for the Moblins, isn't it? But you're not a Moblin. I'm not sure I understand. It's for a feat in the rite of succession. I need to bring up new Potsworn to Earthenshire. So that is the way of it. We've barely met, and after pushing you to work at Waku Meki, I'm now demanding you throw that away and sign a pot pact instead. It's a selfish request, I know. I have something to tell you, Third Promise. The other day, I completed the necessary procedures for immigration. I'm pleased to say I am now an official subject of Tulia law. I have since endeavored to learn what I can of my new nation, beginning with the right of succession and its claimants, including you, of course. Now, you will recall it was my father's example which led me to pursue goldsmithing. He was at East End when Garlean forces laid siege to the settlement, and in the ensuing chaos he was slain. War took him from me in an instant, the man I loved and admired. I never wished to suffer such a loss again. And so, as much as I'm indebted to you for turning my life around, it is as a fellow peace-loving Tuliolin that I want you to win the throne. If I can help you achieve that by signing a pot pact, then I shall gladly do so. Fonjintain, thank you. shall return to Master Ropley and inform him of my decision. Oh, Ropley's a dude, my bad. I have no way to tell. Allow me. I'm the reason you're leaving, so I should be the one to deliver the news. Fontaine nods, and the three of us go. Although, I notice a red-skinned lion man come up to me. Perhaps you remember me, Baruch Evu, owner of FFXIV. I'd like a word if you don't mind. You're Wuklamat ally from across the salt, right? And a hero of some renown too, if the gossips to be believed. Well, as it so happens, I could use some heroic help. It doesn't need to be right now, but could you come by when you have a spare moment? Much appreciated. I'll be waiting for you at my shop then. Interesting. Role quests. What kind of role quests? Like as in tank, healer, DPS kind of? I think it is. Yeah. Let's actually just check that out really quick here, because I'm curious. Yeah. We'll probably have to do it, but until then... Actually, I don't know. I can't say probably. There was an expansion where we were required to do it. Were we required to do it for the last one too? I know the Crystarium made you do at least one of them. I ended up doing all of them because the stories were all pretty fun. I'll probably end up doing these as well. I don't know. So go all the way back to Ropley, who is a dude, my bad, and speak to Wuklamat to finish the quest. We get a cutscene. Master Ropley, I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but, He looks around. Fontaine has agreed to sign the pot pact, yes? Well, it is a shame to lose a capable goldsmith. To have one of our own handpicked to serve the third promise is a great honor for Wakumeki. I appreciate your understanding. Of course, if you happen to know the other talented artisans, regardless of their expertise, I hope you send them my way. It could even be yourself, if you're so inclined. He's saying to me, if I had some crafting on this character, which I don't. I'll keep that in mind. Though my time here was brief, I will not forget your kindness, Master Ropley. I am blessed to have these workshops be my first home in Tulilal. Come back to us if the moblins cut you loose. You'll always have a job at Wakumeki. Tails and smiles. I expect you'll want to leave for Earthenshire as soon as possible. I'll go and pack my things. We get a call over the link pearl. What became of Fontaine? Were you able to find him? Says Alphino. He did, and he's agreed to become a potsworn. We'll leave when he's ready, but you still have a little time. Splendid. We shall meet you anon. I had plenty of reasons to win the contest, but now I have one more. Fontaine's putting his faith in me, and I won't let him down. I smile and nod. The feat of pots is complete. I just missed the 19-minute mark with this quest complete thingy. I can unlock deliveries for Wakumeki. Okay, so you have role quests, and now we also have side quest Inscrutable Tastes. Interesting. That might be like way back in a different, like I haven't done any of the what are they called? Order of the hand? Order of the, hold on. Not order. Disciples of the hand and Disciples of the land. I like crafting, sorta. in this game, it's better than in 11, because 11, you're not guaranteed to get a any kind of skill up when you do a craft. I mean, I'm talking about level appropriate crafts that are supposed to give skill ups. There's no guarantee you would get one for every craft you do, and they take a while. You have to, oh gosh, if you haven't played 11, let me describe it for you. So you have these crystals, which have, kind of like in this game, they have elemental properties. So you have a fire crystal, ice crystal, wind crystal, dark, light, whatever, water, earth. What was that? Lightning. So you would select a crystal, it would open up a window. That window was where you have to scroll through your inventory. You can't make a macro. It just doesn't work. I feel like there was a way to do it with mods, but I'm not sure now. But yeah, scroll through your inventory, pick out all, like, one at a time, the ingredients to make the thing, and then you start crafting. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and around 4 or 5 seconds later, you actually figure out if you succeeded or failed at the craft, or if you also got a high quality outcome, HQ. And then, because this is how the game works, you wait a couple seconds, wait a couple seconds, wait a couple seconds, and then you can start the craft again. So it's like a 15-second or more process per craft. Similar to fishing in a lot of ways. Like fishing, you cast your line, you wait for a nibble, a couple seconds, 3 seconds, 4, whatever, and you either don't get a nibble, you have to recast, or you get a bite, and then you have to battle against it. And fishing has changed over the years. It used to not be interactive at all, but they had to try to figure out a way to get it so that bots couldn't just fish and fish and fish and fish and fish and screw up the market, you know? It's so sad that video games there are people who will pay money to, like, actual physical real world money in order to advance their video game character, and farming bots from China, whatever, took major advantage of that. They just create these characters with this, like, string of letters as their name, and you just find them just fishing and fishing and fishing and fishing and fishing and fishing, or gathering and gathering and gathering and gathering, and like mining or woodcraft, but mostly fishing, I think. But yeah, it was weird. It's an interesting game, very, very fun game in a lot of ways, very unique game in a lot of ways. I miss it every day, but it's a good time in life, especially when I started finding out that there were mods that were like quality of life improvements for like gear swapping. In that game, you had, like, let's say you're a red mage, you have enfeebling magic, you have elemental damage magic, you have healing magic, you have buffing, like, and enhancing magic, which is buffs. And you wanted a different gear set for each spell you cast, because you could have an enfeebling spell that was light based, so you'd want the light based enfeebling gear set, or you have one that's dark based, you'd want your dark based enfeebling gear set. And you had to have not macros, but like a third party program that you had to learn how to write what you wanted certain things to do. When you press this macro, it's supposed to do this. Or when you cast, actually, it was better than that. When you cast X spell, which you could write in this whole kind of coding language, but much easier than that. It was an if-then. If cast fire 3, then equip X gear. So you have head slot, the name of the gear, neck slot, name of the gear. Only if you want to change gear, which you probably needed to, but just so in depth. But anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.